In 1964, two young musicians walked into a recording studio full of dreams, ready to change the world with their music. But they emerged having suffered the greatest failure of their lives. Their debut album was a disaster, and The Sound of Silence, their most promising song, was buried and forgotten. Disillusioned, they decided to give up on their dream. But 1 year later, an unexpected mistake in the studio would ignite a spark that forever changed their lives and the history of rock music. Was it pure luck or genuine talent? This is the incredible story of how a childhood friendship, a passion for music, and an unexpected mistake immortalized Simon and Garfunkel forever. Let's begin. In the 1950s, in Queens, New York, two curious and creative boys met in an elementary school classroom. They were Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. Their friendship formed almost instantly, driven by the interests they shared: a fascination with the radio, a love of singing, and an enthusiasm for playing guitar. During those childhood days, amid games and songs, the seed of a musical bond was planted, one that would shape their lives forever, as you will discover later in this story. At the time, popular music was everywhere. It echoed through the streets, played on radios in people's homes, and filled neighborhood clubs. Yet two major genres dominated the scene: American folk and the emerging sound of rock. Put simply, these styles were like two forces in motion, two paths that shaped the identity of music fans. Folk offered a balm for reflection, a search for poetry in everyday life, while rock carried the roar of a restless generation hungry for change and rebellion. Simon and Garfunkel grew up within this rich musical ecosystem, drawing inspiration from both worlds. Which of those two styles do you think Simon and Garfunkel identified with most? After school, Simon and Garfunkel devoted their time to their greatest passion: music. They spent hours exploring records, singing together, and admiring the Everly Brothers, who at the time had two songs near the top of the charts: Bye Bye Love and Wake Up Little Susie. Their vocal harmonies and youthful blend of rock and roll and country made a powerful impression on Simon and Garfunkel. Inspired by their idols, they decided to take a chance on becoming stars of popular music. After many afternoons spent writing songs, and with the support of their parents, they recorded their first single, Hey Schoolgirl, at Manhattan's legendary Sanders recording studio. During the session, music promoter Sid Prosen recognized their talent and, with their parents' consent, persuaded them to sign with his independent label, Big Records. The duo Tom and Jerry was born, a name that captured their fresh, youthful spirit. Their single Hey Schoolgirl became an unexpected hit, reaching number 49 on the Billboard charts in 1957. They sold more than 100,000 copies, earned a significant amount of money, and appeared on several television programs. For two teenagers from Queens, it felt like the beginning of a dream come true. After that success, however, Sid Prosen chose to sign Paul Simon as a solo artist, leaving the duo behind. It marked the end of Tom and Jerry, and foreshadowed the tensions that would define Simon and Garfunkel's relationship in the years ahead. While Simon continued his solo career and collaborated with other artists, Garfunkel stepped away from music for a time to focus on his studies and attend college. If you also look back fondly on those days when songs sounded different, more human, more sincere, give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, Millennium Rock. Here, we continue telling the stories that made rock eternal. Let's continue. By 1963, public interest in folk music was booming. Folk groups were gaining ground on radio and television, signaling a new trend within the music industry. Aware of the opportunity, Simon and Garfunkel decided to reunite, write new songs, and revive their dream of becoming stars of popular music. They began performing in clubs, especially in Greenwich Village, a vital center of the era's folk scene. In those years, the New York neighborhood stood at the heart of the American folk revival, a cultural melting pot where artists such as Bob Dylan and Joan Baez, the so-called Queen of Folk, were redefining protest music and giving voice to an entire restless generation through groundbreaking songs such as Blowin' in the Wind and House of the Rising Sun.
The answer is blowing in the wind.
In that vibrant, bohemian atmosphere, Simon and Garfunkel found the ideal stage for their poetic, introspective lyrics, which fit the spirit of the village perfectly while still standing apart through their subtlety and emotional depth. It was there that they caught the attention of Tom Wilson, an influential figure at Columbia Records. Wilson signed them, and this time they would be promoted under their own names, Simon and Garfunkel. Everything seemed to be going well. The duo worked tirelessly rehearsing and recording their acoustic debut album, Wednesday Morning, 3 a.m., released in 1964. The record included songs such as The Sound of Silence and Bleecker Street, which revealed their remarkable gift for turning urban life into poetry.
The sound of silent birds, Bleecker Street.
The album, however, failed to achieve the success they had hoped for and did not recoup the money invested in it. It was a crushing blow for Simon and Garfunkel, who found themselves facing yet another failed attempt. As a result, the duo split up once again. Simon chose to continue his music career on his own and moved to England, while Garfunkel returned to college to complete his studies. The turning point came in 1965, when Tom Wilson recognized the rise of folk rock and, inspired by the success of Bob Dylan's hybrid sound on songs such as Like a Rolling Stone, decided to transform Simon and Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence. Without consulting them, he added electric guitars, bass, and drums to the original recording and released it as a single. The result was extraordinary. The song reached #1 on the US charts in January 1966, marking the true beginning of the Simon and Garfunkel phenomenon.
People talking without speaking.
Although its success was undeniable, Simon was horrified by the result. He believed the new sound betrayed his artistic vision, which was rooted in introspection, philosophy, and a gentler folk style. To him, being associated with rock did not fit the image he wanted to project, and he regarded the song's transformation as a mistake. The impact of The Sound of Silence was so immense, however, that Simon decided to return from England and reunite with Garfunkel, this time with a hit song behind them. Faced with the sudden, massive success of the electric version, Columbia Records rushed to capitalize on its momentum. In record time, the label assembled a new album around the triumphant single and titled it Sounds of Silence. The record not only established the duo as one of folk rock's most influential voices, but also included songs that would become enduring classics. The introspective anthem to Isolation, I Am a Rock, the melancholy Kathy's Song, and of course, the now legendary electric version of The Sound of Silence.
I am a rock. I am it all. Songs I can't believe. The sound of silence.
And so this album, filled with songs conceived as poems about isolation and the failure to communicate within a noisy society, captured the nation's attention. Its delicate harmonies and thoughtful lyrics resonated deeply with listeners, turning Simon and Garfunkel into true voices of a generation. Following the success of The Sound of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel began recording more elaborate albums that cemented their place in music history. In 1966, they released Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme, a quantum leap in their creativity. It featured the iconic Scarborough Fair/Canticle with its medieval harmonies, every touring musician's anthem, Homeward Bound, and the carefree The 59th Street Bridge song, Feelin' Groovy, while exploring themes that reflected their era, including love, maturity, and uncertainty. Simon and Garfunkel's music reached a new level of success when it was featured in the 1968 film The Graduate. Director Mike Nichols, an avid fan of the duo, asked to use their music on the soundtrack. Despite Simon's initial reluctance, he agreed to write new material for the film, including the iconic Mrs. Robinson. Both the film and its soundtrack became runaway successes, catapulting Simon and Garfunkel to a new level of fame and recognition. That creative momentum carried into their next album, Bookends, a conceptual masterpiece that explored the passage of time. It included not only Mrs. Robinson, but also the existential Odyssey America and the rock-driven energy of A Hazy Shade of Winter.
It's the springtime of my life.
Mrs. Robinson won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year in 1969, marking a major milestone in rock and roll history. Although the duo's early albums had been successful, they were sometimes criticized for being uneven. With each later release, however, Simon and Garfunkel showed remarkable growth in their songwriting and a greater willingness to experiment in the studio. Their music became increasingly sophisticated, moving beyond basic folk rock production to incorporate Latin American rhythms and gospel-inspired arrangements. That evolution culminated in their 1970 album Bridge Over Troubled Water, widely regarded as their most musically ambitious work. As their fame grew, so did the tensions between them. The harmony they projected in their songs did not reflect the reality of their relationship. Paul Simon, who wrote most of the material, was the duo's creative mind, while Art Garfunkel brought those compositions to life with his incomparable voice. Yet this dynamic fueled rivalry. Simon felt that his work was not always valued as it deserved to be, while Garfunkel enjoyed the vocal spotlight his performances brought him. Now tell me, how old were you, and where were you when you first discovered the music of Simon and Garfunkel? Share your story in the comments. We're reading them. During the recording of their final great album together, Bridge Over Troubled Water, those tensions reached a breaking point. Garfunkel was frequently absent from the studio to pursue acting roles, leaving Simon responsible for much of the work. This not only slowed the process, but deepened Simon's resentment. He would later admit that he regretted not singing the album's iconic title ballad himself. The song became a symbol of their musical greatness, but also of the emotional fractures between them. The album's release marked the peak of their career. With its complex production and deeply sensitive lyrics, Bridge Over Troubled Water not only cemented their worldwide fame, but elevated them to the status of folk rock legends. The record featured the monumental gospel ballad that gave the album its name, Bridge Over Troubled Water, the epic and autobiographical The Boxer, the infectious rhythm of Cecilia, and The Only Living Boy in New York, a song Simon wrote while Art was away filming in Mexico, reflecting his growing loneliness within the duo. The album was the crowning achievement of their journey. but it also brought their partnership to an end. After its release, the duo decided to separate. After their breakup in 1970, Simon and Garfunkel followed different paths, though each remained under the shadow of their shared success. Simon built a prolific solo career, exploring new sounds and international rhythms, while Garfunkel focused on acting and his own musical projects. Despite their individual accomplishments, their legacy as a duo continued to eclipse their separate work. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, their interactions were sporadic and marked by lingering tension. Although they reunited at key moments, including the iconic concert in Central Park in 1981, when thousands gathered to hear their magical vocal blend once more, the wounds of the past had never fully healed. The success they achieved together was always tied to a bittersweet feeling. They were the geniuses of folk rock, but they were also victims of the pressure and resentment that very success had created. Their most emblematic songs, including The Sound of Silence and Bridge Over Troubled Water, remain an essential part of a generation's musical legacy. Yet behind the melodies that defined folk rock lay a friendship broken by fame and ego. In the end, Simon and Garfunkel became the stars they had dreamed of being, though the price they paid was the fragility of their personal relationship. And so, what seemed like a simple mistake became the springboard that carried Simon and Garfunkel to stardom, reminding us that genius often hides in the most unexpected moments. Curiously, in the same year that Simon and Garfunkel achieved worldwide fame with The Sound of Silence, another band was being born in Germany, one that also dreamed of leaving its mark on rock: Scorpions. Years later, with the band on the verge of giving up after their singer lost his voice and everything seemed to be over, an unexpected song would rescue them from the silence and capture hearts around the world. Click on the next video and join me as we discover the song that saved Scorpions and changed the history of rock. I'll see you there, my fellow rocker.